Trans Issues 101. Hello, it's Thursday, it's me, I'm back. This week's, or rather 2 weeks ago's topic is things you wish you had known earlier or before transition. Difficult one. I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, as far as dealing with my GP and sort of the medical side of things, I knew what to expect. I was ready for potentially getting bullied or hassled. I'd mentally prepared myself a lot for that. But beyond that, there were lots of things I wasn't expecting, I suppose. I mean, I had a lot of advice because I've always been quite girly. I've always hung out with other girls and had like mainly female friends, and just felt more comfortable in the company of other women. So I pick up stuff anyway because I just randomly absorb pointless information that is of no use to anyone else. So like I know a lot of trans women make the mistake of wearing far too much makeup, and I generally try and avoid that. I wear sort of almost as little as I can get away with, just to cover the shadow of doom and things like that. So yeah, I mean, as far as sort of things I wish I'd known, I wish I'd known it was going to be easier to deal with the public. I mean, I haven't had too much trouble. Yeah, people stare at me, but I don't mind if they're staring or that they're not saying anything to me. They're not actually hassling me. They're not being physically abusive or anything. And I think I was sort of worried that the minute I stepped out of my door, I was going to get beaten up a few times. Perhaps I went a bit too far with my preparation for sort of what I bracing myself for impact, as it were. Yeah, I think other things I wish I'd known. There's not a lot else really. There's not a lot I really sort of wish I'd known. Just sort of being a bit more trusting of other humans. But that's never really been my strong point. The few times I have been hassled, I've generally tried to deal with it sort of fairly sensibly. I had one guy who was really in my face, sort of shouting things at me, like getting really questioning but really aggressively. If the fire alarm in the building hadn't gone off, I don't think, I think I probably could have got through to him at some point, but he basically saw that as an excuse to go home, so we never really got around to finishing that conversation. So yeah, yeah, not being too afraid. Although I'm not actually on hormones, I recently had my results back for my natural levels, and my testosterone count is actually well below average for someone born male, which might explain a lot, perhaps. So yeah, I mean, things like that. Oh, I have remembered something. One thing I really wish I had known beforehand was not necessarily listening to everyone on the trans forums, because there's a lot of angry people on some of these forums. And you go and you sort of ask, hey, you know, I want some support about this or that issue, and in the nicest possible way, they might turn around and just really lay into whatever institution it is. Like in my case, it was Charing Cross Gender Identity Clinic. I'd heard so many bad things about the service there, about the doctors there, about getting appointments, any possibility of needing to change or move appointments. Just, it was made to seem like essentially if everything wasn't just right for them, they were just going to turn around to me and go, "You're not trans, bye," and just leave me to it, which I think probably would have completely broken me at the time. I actually spent my entire first appointment in tears from start to finish. I think partly because it has just been this massive emotional build-up for me. This was the first time I was properly getting something done, and I sort of I just exploded with emotion all over my first appointment, and I almost felt I'd sort of spoilt things a bit because of that. And I think if someone had just said to me earlier, it's just a psych evaluation. I've had psych evaluations before, I've dealt with depression for years, so a psych evaluation wouldn't have been a problem for me. But because it had been sort of made up to be this sort of, these people are the gatekeepers to your treatment, you know, if you don't appease them in whatever way, you're not going to get anything. You know, you will essentially just been told, just go away. You're not trans. We're not going to do anything for you. It was very much the way it had been made to sound. Something's getting drunk early. Was just the way it had been made to sound on a lot of the forums. So I sort of built up that it was going to be this horrible, scary thing, and it wasn't. And my second appointment, I was much more together emotionally. So hopefully things will continue sort of getting better, moving along. I've now had my second appointment, so I've had my second opinion, and they've given me letters to change my passport and driving licence. So I can get everything put into my new name and my new gender. It's not a proper gender recognition certificate, but it's enough that I can get ID, because that's one of the things that's been bothering me recently, is that if I go out anywhere, if anyone asks me for photo ID, all I've got is stuff in actually my birth name in some cases. So it's really makes me uncomfortable, especially when you get a bouncer that wants to sit there and have a conversation, and I don't want to be standing around outside a nightclub or whatever just going, "Yeah, this isn't," all uncomfortable, where you just go, "Oh yeah, you've really changed." "Yes, I have. Thanks, can I go in now?" Yeah, it doesn't help that the photograph of my driving licence is horrible. I look like a drug dealer. I'm not. So yeah, I think I've covered both the week's topic that I missed, the things I wish I'd known, and just the general update for this week. So, in other words, I have waffled once again. So yeah, stay tuned, keep watching, subscribe, please. Friend us on YouTube, join our Facebook group, and hopefully we will yeah, get some more people, make some suggestions about things you want to talk to us about, and hopefully now I'm back on my feet again, I will be posting more regularly and we can get things going a bit more normally again, because we seem to have become a bit sporadic in our videos of late. Naughty us. Okay, good luck, see you next week, bye!